I don't know what elo this is. Can I see borders? Gold 2. For reference, this is OPGG. Alright. We're gonna focus on Ori. Oh, you just signal that. This should stop. Oh. I do want Creator Suite open as well. Yeah, I can do elite hacks or things. Make sure I fix a few things first. Okay. So Orianna, and it's against Ahri. So some quick notes at the start of the game are that this is a skill matchup. It is roughly 55-45 towards Ahri, or 60-40. And if we look at the team comps, top jungle, mid, AD support, Draven versus Varus, they scale similarly. I guess it's rated out. Draven, Varus. Ori versus Ahri. Ori has an edge in the mid to late game. They're similar. Rek'Sai versus Lee. They're similar. Oh, it's Draven top. Draven top versus Diana top. Of course, how did I not know? Interesting to say the least. And then, so this is Caitlyn versus Varus, who again are similar. And then Sona versus Raka, who again are similar. So where's the biggest disparity? Orianna is more useful than Ahri if ahead. If equal, Ori's still roughly equal, more useful. This matchup is already lost because Diana has the advantage. It's Draven top. Doesn't make sense. So where should the jungler focus? The jungler should focus here in mid lane. Rek'Sai can't really invade Lee Sin too hard. Like, Rek'Sai does win if he can consistently knock up Lee Sin, but I wouldn't count on it here. Caitlyn Sona should beat Varus Raka, so they should have priority. Top lane, Diana will probably have priority. So this is like the contesting lane. Mid is the lane where the jungler should be. Who has an edge in teamfights? The other team does, because they have a lot of pick between Ahri, Lee Sin, Diana, and Varus. Whereas this team comp is like really weird because they have like Rek'Sai and Draven top. And Sona. Whereas they only... These bad picks are only Diana and Soraka. So it's like 3 versus 2 bad picks. But if we see how things start to play out, it should be interesting. A full VOD review? Yes, I will. Hi, Captain. How are you? Yeah, I wish there was a way to send a replacement client too. Unlucky. Unlucky Rito. Sun's out.
Minions have spawned.
Okay. So, Ori starts autoing creeps, which inherently is not good. Or rather, is not preferred in this matchup. He should be looking to have 1 auto ahead of Ahri. Because he wants to get level 2 first, but if he pushes too hard and the wave is stuck here, Lee Sin just comes like this, boop, and forces flash. Into Ahri, who has charm, or just dies. Either way, not really ideal. Also, taking Ghost against Ahri is not a good idea. I mean, they have Varus as well, so taking Cleanse here is probably really good. Not probably, is really good. Is really good. Should probably take Cleanse. Ahri alone is enough to merit Cleanse, because it's a really long CC, and you just die if you get hit by a charm. You can try to dodge it with Ghost, but it's not guaranteed. Cleanse is guaranteed to stop it, or negates it. Or negates attempts. But Ori starts pushing this wave, and like I said, that's not very good because he needs to get a ward here. And it's just better to leave the lane here if you can. That way it opens up your jungler to be able to gank here. When, like I identified, that mid lane is the contesting lane that you want to get. Top lane, you should scrap it. Bottom lane, you should be winning. You don't really invade Rek'Sai versus Lee Sin too much. You kind of sit in the middle, like between 2 lanes, so you sit somewhere in here. So you should be playing with your jungler. He didn't use his first ball until 157. You always want to use your abilities early, because he just sat on full mana for a long time. And when you sit on full mana, you're not using your mana regen. So it's like, you want to use your mana regen. And he didn't hit it either, which is unfortunate. So he had Q, but he chose not to use it. So right here, if we rewind it, I'm not going to, but Ahri was here, Ori was here, Ball was here. Ahri used her ability here, Ori needs to use her ability here, to at least trade something, because now the health differential is like really big. You're 50% health. It's going to go up to like 65% once you level up. But you had your cooldown up, so it's not like it was down. So just use it, right? Like, don't just run away. So that's one really big problem that happens in lower elos, is if you're trading like Ahri versus Ori like we are right now. If Ahri uses Q and W, and it hits Orianna, Orianna will just walk away, and she's level 2. That's really important. Ahri has nothing left, like at all. She just used her damage. So you should look to Q auto. Because what's she going to do? She's going to auto attack? Well, your Q auto beats out this auto attack. And if you don't Q auto, then she just got QW for free. But what happens is she'll QW auto, and you'll get QW, or Q auto. Which, the difference between this is less than the difference between this. So you want to minimize your losses, and Q autoing minimizing your losses. Just walking away does not minimize your losses. That was really good harass. He needs to defend his minions like that, so every time that one of his minions is going to die, this one maybe, this one for sure, these definitely. Ahri has to walk up to extend to get them. The second she walks up and commits to an auto attack, Orianna needs to do this with QW auto, or just a Q or Q auto, just some combo that does damage that trades for the minion. Okay, this is an awful ward. This ward is so actually so bad. If you're gonna place this ward, take 2 steps extra here and place the ward here. Like, this ward gets this. If you get this ward, you get all of this, and you get all of this. So effectively, you cover. I guess I should change the color. This ward actually only gets this area. It doesn't even get the bush. Like Lee Sin could be here and do this, and you wouldn't even know. But the area differential, by putting it here, effectively grants you this entire circle. Whereas placing it right here does not. And this is only 2 steps. So you just have to time your ward better, because if you go 2 extra steps, you miss these 2 creeps. So walk at a different time, or earlier. And I can't see if there's a ward top, but I think there is. So you would have found Lee Sin in a second anyway. But you just play a little more passive until you get the ward. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Illuminati? So the CS so far is 18 to 20. That's fine. Or you should have a little bit more. But there's no problem with missing a couple. So overall, laning phase is going okay. He's sustained up a little bit more. Biggest criticism so far are those wards, not countering trades, taking free harass. I guess that kind of labels like everything could be improved, but like it's not as bad as you made it out to sound so far. So this wave is in a really bad spot. Orianna needs to hover this here in this quadrant, or these 2 quadrants, because Rek'Sai's over here. And what does this mean? That means that Lee Sin, if he's here, well, Rek'Sai would have just seen him right here, and Rek'Sai should ping that. And we just saw that there was a double kill somewhere. Who died? Their bot lane died. I'm assuming. I wasn't really paying attention. But so far, right now, it's 4 minutes in. It's 4 minutes. What does that mean? That means their jungler could be in a few places. It means he started Wraiths, went to red, went to Krugs, ganked top. It could mean that he went Wraiths, red, blue, or Wolves, blue, Gromp. It could mean that he went blue, Gromp, Scuttle, mid? I didn't do that. He could have gone red, Raptors. That's just a weird path. That doesn't even make sense. So, the point that I'm trying to make is no matter what, he's going to be on one side of the map. If he went this yellow path, he's on top side. If he went on this blue path, then he's on top side again, or he's based. If he went on this pink path, he's going to be outside. And we did see him on a ward up here. So we know that he followed this pink path roughly. Which means he's going to be on bottom side of the map, like 100% of the time. And he is. Probably turn on Fog of War. That way I don't have this information. But I could have assumed. And I assumed correctly. And knowing where the jungler is really important. Because this wave is in such a bad spot for the jungler to be active. And with Rek'Sai here, Orianna absolutely has to ward this or concede all of this pressure. Because if she doesn't come and ward over here, Orianna can get gankered here, can get ganker spankered here. And like I said, we know that he's probably not topside because Rek'Sai's around here. And we can assume the path based on seeing him topside. So we should already know where Lee Sin is. And so stepping up for this wave is really greedy. And I just paused this because it looks like he's going to step for this wave. And it looks like he's going to get punished for it. He should get punished for it. So we'll see what happens. Places the ward where his jungler just was, which is in the wrong spot, like I just explained why. He does hang towards the ward, which is smart. He doesn't have enough jungler knowledge to contest those creeps. And now he sees him bottom. So he should have looked to harass Ahri on that wave. So instead of clearing these two creeps, you should look for Ahri instead. Anytime you know where the jungler is, you should use that to your advantage because they don't know where your jungler is. It's playing... Okay, so... You're playing so passive in this little zone, which one is an awful zone to play in because if Ahri's here, she has just a free charm on this line because you're forced against this wall. So you're pigeoned, so if she's here, she can just throw her skill shot like this. And this is a guaranteed hit because your model's going to take up that much. So this is a bad spot to stand, first off. But second off, you're playing way too afraid because we know that Lee Sin's bot. She doesn't know that your jungler's over here. So you should look to trade her because you win trades. Because Clockwork Wind Up and then QW Auto E. Or Auto QW Auto E. You just win. Ori outdamages in an extended trade, whereas Ahri wins a burst trade. But conversely, Ori wins a poke trade. So either way, you take a poke trade or you take a extended trade. And here I would have taken probably a poke trade, but you didn't, and you let her engage you for some reason. So I was still playing really afraid. There was just another minion that died here. Here and here. And you didn't defend either of these two. You should be looking to defend them. Unless you have a plan to back, in which case you should be looking to hit the wave as soon as you can. Because you know the jungler isn't near. It's fine to play passive now, because now you don't know what jungler is. Well, now he's bottom again. So he's be looking to clear his wave. So wait, this is actually so greedy, because you see that he has such a big wave, right? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minions. 8 minions. And you know he's gonna hit level 6, because he has more minions alive than you do, which means you have like experience. So you stepping up is so greedy. You had to clear it earlier before he got your minions, and you should be counting them. But you setting up right now is really risky because Lee Sin did drop out for a second. And this becomes really bad for you right now because if you can't clear these, Lee Sin can come here, dive you, and you lose. You 100% lose this lane and this game if you die to this. Because Ahri 6 and that exact same scenario that I just described with Faker, with the Lucian mid versus Orianna mid, is going to happen. Because you're going to miss all this experience. And you can't come back from that. Because this on top of already being slightly behind and them having a high pressure Lee Sin jungler. So you just lose. Because you can't safely do anything anymore. So you have to clear this wave here. Even if she just dives you alone. I think you've gotten hit by like every REQ in the game so far. Okay, so you have a ward. You know Lee Sin's bottom side. You need to place this ward. If you're gonna stay for this wave, you need to place this ward here, because Lee Sin could just come over this wall, kill you, and flash his way. It's really greedy to stay here. I know Ahri has no mana, but she has enough for Q, she has enough for a charm. In a second she will at least. And if she gets either of these, you die. If Lee Sin's anywhere around, which Lee Sin should be around because you're at 35% health with low mana. What elo is this guy? Gold 2. If you're still staying, you need to ward. This caffeine gum is working pretty well. Lee Sin gets executed. Interesting. Oh, he DCs. So choose to get Lost Chapter, which is fine. This is a good build. Getting Lost Chapter is really important. Probably go No Magic next. Maybe even Banshee's Veil from here. You don't really need the Morellos yet. She's not going to build Magic Resist. She could build Magic Resist. I guess I'll do that. He's not going to build Magic Resist because you have 2 ADs, 3 ADs. He's not going to build Magic Resist. He's not going to build Magic Resist. Which means that Guise is also good. So your options are Lost Chapter, into Guise, or I guess no magic here. You could do Lost Chapter, Morellos, Guise. That's about it. Yeah, I guess you could do Lost Chapter, Angie's Veil, or Lost Chapter, Morello's, Banshee's Veil. I think I would go for this one personally. So Lost Chapter into Null, into Guise, because it provides you plus 25 mag resist, plus 180 health, 25 mana. I don't know the health value, it's something like this. And then plus 15 magic pen, which means you'll be doing true damage, or you'll be doing significantly more damage to Ahri, to Lee Sin, to Varus, and to Soraka. Your boot options include Sork shoes, you can get Merc treads, you wouldn't get Tabi, so these two are your options depending on what you're going to go. If you're going to go Guys, you should probably get Sork. Otherwise, you should get Merc treads. Merc treads are good against Ahri, especially because you can take Cleanse, and you're not going to get QSS. Also helps against Diana. I mean, they do have a decent amount of CC, so Merc treads is pretty good. But honestly, Sork plus Guys this game looks a little bit too spicy to ignore. So you should probably go something like this game. Lost Chapter into Guys, or into No Magic. Into Guys, plus Sork Boots, into Banshee's Veil. After this, you should do Void Staff or Rabadons, depending on what's going on in the game. This is going to be like 64 mag resist-ish when you have Guys plus Sork. The value that this is better becomes higher. So you could just probably do Rabadon instead, because she's not going to have 64, she's not going to have 64, she's not going to have 64, she shouldn't have 64, she shouldn't have 64. So Rabadons will probably result in a higher gain, but it depends on how, like, what they build, obviously. So this is 1, 2, 3 items, 4 items. I guess Morello's is here. This is 5 items, and you have to get the other one, so 6 items. So your final build is going to be Sork plus Leandri plus Banshee's Veil plus Morello's. This is not in order, obviously. Plus Rabadon's Death Cap plus Void Staff. This should be your final build, something close to this. We'll see what it ends up being, but as long as the game doesn't play out in a ridiculous fashion, that's probably your build. Well, that would have been really good if you just stopped that back. Okay, so you push. Now you have complete lane control right now. What do you choose to do with it? What do you do with a free lane? Give 30 to 45 seconds of nothing.
A summoner has reconnected.
You get a ward. Not a very deep ward, but a ward. And you pop a plant. Okay, so your other options were to do this. You walk down bottom lane, because it's an even lane, so you can pressure that. You get a deep ward, something like here, or like here, like your jungler did. Or you can go here, or here. You pressure this turret. What you did was you literally just sat here for like 25 seconds. For no reason. So if you have a free lane, you have to do something with it. That's how you create advantages. So Ahri has 15 AP on you. But you have sustain. So you should look to poke Ahri out. And take aggro trades, because you have 300 extra effective health than she does. This is a 45-minute game, and I'll probably speed it up after 15 minutes. Because laning phase is where most people can run the most. So that's why I'm spending a lot of time on laning phase. I could spend like an hour focusing on only the first 10 minutes of a lane. See how much time I have spent. I already spam ping for some reason. About 30 minutes.
Killing spree.
So Ahri has no ult now. You should look aggro. You get off this. Boots, awesome, goodbye. Boots is better than Phoenix Codex for the most part. Gives you more damage. And helps you dodge Ahri. Really goodbye. You're winning in CS by 10. That's almost a kill. So your laning phase wasn't atrocious. It could just get better. Don't respect what was pinged and you died. So, like 25 seconds ago, your team pinged that somebody was here. So just listen to the ping. Wait, does? Oh, it does. Cool. So just respect this. Right, because let's say it is Diana, right? You'll probably die. If Lee Sin, you'll probably die. If it's Varus, you'll probably die. Because Ahri has aura. And then all three of these have flash R. So, just respect what's pinged. And like, your top side's heavy right now. So you should be playing up here anyway. Because, like, your team's top side. Just play towards your team's strengths. Right now it is not bot side.
Rampage. Red team double kill.
This is the first time you've ghost. Okay. So if we zoom out, because we do have this luxury in game to see what's going on. We see there's 4 of them. And we can see what's going on. This streamer looks very nerd. Thanks, dude. Who can you reliably kill here? You can't kill this guy. Oh, that's really small. You can't kill this guy. You can't kill this guy. You can't kill this guy because these two are in the way to kill that guy. Your only option is to hit this guy. And he's going to stay for another turret hit. So you should look to hit Diana. There's no way you burst Varus through Soraka. So you have to look for Diana. Even if you hit all 3 of them here. Right, let's say somehow all 3 of these are in your ult radius. It doesn't matter. Because you're not going to be able to kill this one, you're not going to kill this one. You might kill that one. If you hit him with your ult. But this one, however, is sitting on a turret. This is a free kill if you look here. You just put your ball here. And literally don't do anything. Or you damage here and put your ball here. And if she ever tries to walk out, you ult her. But instead you don't get anyone. And now they're all sitting low. So what's lost from this? You lose 2 kills, and you lose a lot of damage in mid. So let's see how much health this had. This had 2k health. It's probably gone. So you lose roughly 2k on a mid turret, which is way, way important. And you lose bot turret. That's a really bad trade. Is you playing Ori or someone else? This is not me. This is Eagles. Live VOD reviews, dude. Rank's down, so I needed something to do. Okay, so the turret on this health, or the health on this turret, is so ridiculously important. Mid lane turret is actually one of the most important objectives in the game. Because if we look at what mid lane turret gives, if we zoom out, mid lane turret grants all of this vision. Gives this, gives this, gives this, gives this, gives this, roughly. I guess it's that, actually. Which doesn't seem like much. But it is. Because if mid lane turret is down... Oops. If mid lane turret is down, then what does that mean? That means that this is all open. They can go here. They can go here. They can drop a ward here. Which, by the way, this ward is stupid OP because this ward sees that, it sees that, and it sees this. So anything you do through the mid lane, they will see. Obviously this you don't see. Or this. But everything has to go through the mid lane. This is how you get mid priority, which determines who gets this, and this, and this, and this. And consequentially, whoever gets those areas gets Baron area, all of this ward control, as well as the same areas on the other side of the map over here. I guess instead of that way, it's this way. This, and this. So not losing this turret is really important, and you just lost 2k health on it without getting anything in return. That's really bad.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Okay, so you're answering bottom wave, but you don't win a 1-3-1 ever. So 1-3-1, who 1-3-1's on your team? You don't 1-3-1. You need to be with team. Draven does a 1-3-1. Who 1-3-1's on their team? Ahri 1-3-1s. Diana 1-3-1s. Like 1-3-1 just does not work for your team because you're Orianna. Orianna does not want to 1-3-1. She wants to be either 4-1 or 5-0. Not 1-3-1. Rek'Sai should probably answer this wave because he has ult to get closer to you guys. But you not being there literally just means they can walk up and take the turret or engage on the team if they want to, because like you're a crutch on your team right now, or not a crutch, you're a backbone of your team where you prevent the enemy from doing things via your E and your R. If you're not there, like what do they have? A Kaylin net, a Sona speed, a Sona R, which is a long cooldown. They have Kaylin traps, but turret has 100 health because it just lost 2k health. Rek'Sai's gonna tunnel away, but again, that doesn't really stop them. It just gets him out. And Draven's gonna stand aside, which again doesn't really stop them. If it's like, you know, Ahri or Diana or Lee Sin or Varus are. So you just kind of lose if you're not with your team. And I assume they get engaged on. Because based on the aggro positioning, that's what it looks like.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
They don't engage for some reason. Looks like little ants running around when I put it on normal speed. Okay. Why are you here? You gain nothing from being here, ever, anymore. This is unwarded, which means I can just come like this and kill you. This is warded, but if Lee Sin walks here, W's this, you're done. If Ahri does this and this, you're done. They like you just don't gain anything because you can't really safely clear this anyway. So you should just wait in this zone instead and look to clear the wave as it comes here. Because if you're here, what you can do is you can place your ball right here, which then zones this entire area. Because it effectively creates this arc, right? Where they can't go through. That's a little big, but they can't go through this because if your team's around, they die. Because Ori, RWQE does a lot of damage. Especially these ones in the burst. AoE burst. And then that also funnels them into this, which will bone them as well. But you being here allows them to open up like this, like I said. Or Varus could flash RU. Pretty much you don't want to be in range of Varus at all with your team comp. And yeah, I know we do see Ahri here, but like, what if Lee Sin and Diana are in this bush? You just lose. Like, you actually lose the game if you die here off that. Because then they get mid-turret. Tier 2 mid. Or they get Baron. Which in theory should make you lose the game. So like the risk reward isn't worth it there. Also make sure you hit all the minions with your Q. That's really good right there. Okay, so here, if you're gonna walk this path, just don't. Right, because if you walk here, this is like why? This is 3 steps extra. And you don't get zoned here, when Ahri could be here and then you die. So just walk, take the safe path. That's really greedy to walk that way. Like, super greedy. Oh, shoot. That's a pretty good flash ult. You should base there instead of going for that wave. sitting low on resources, if they get a wave in, then you're not there to help your team. Yeah, the gold difference isn't that bad. For the kill differential, like you said. That's because of farm. So if you look, Draven's up 50 farm, Rek'Sai's up 30 farm, Ori's up 20 farm. So that all adds up. This is really good ball positioning. Because this ball positioning should be here. But this cuts this entire zone. It forces them to be literally on these pixels, in which case then you just move like 2 pixels over. This is like goal 2. But yeah, that is a good point, Captain RF, that red team does have complete control of the map. But this ball position literally cuts this entire thing with our threat. And what you can also do is you can just R the wave at any time to clear it, which is really good because it's only a 6-second cooldown. And a mini wave takes 30 seconds to get here. So if you can clear one wave with your R, and your team's around to clear the next wave, then your R's already back up. And if you catch anyone in while clearing the wave as well, it's worth it because you junked them. So like right here, honestly, I probably would have ulted Ahri. I know it's not... Oh, it actually just came up. Or that might be bugged. I don't think that's up. I think I just looked and that was not up. If that was up, honestly, I would ult Ahri right here. Because you'll actually clip Varus as well. So it means you'll chunk him. And it just immediately stops the siege. But I don't think it's up. I thought... Or am I getting a bug? No, looks like it's up. That's a good chunk on Ahri too. Good check with your Q instead of face checking. Well, let's compare your build to mine. So I said my build was going to be Lost Chat, Sork plus Leandri's plus Morello's plus Banshee's Veil plus Void plus Rabadon's. This is what I said I would build. What have you built so far? So Morello's, Leandri's, and Rabadon's. Cool. That's fine. You hit most of the marks. And honestly, I don't even think I would have built Banshee's Veil based on the way the game was going. That was just how I initially thought I would have built at the beginning of the game. And honestly, I probably would not have built it like I said, and would have built Rabadon's earlier. Because it's not like Ahri has been picking, or Varus has been picking, where it's like, wow, I need to be safe. Or it's not like Diana has been hitting you, where it's like, wow, I really need that extra magic resist. Okay. Okay. So you're getting pinged. Once you get up by this Diana Q, you should not be walking up. You get it here, you walk all the way here. You should just walk this way. Because Diana could have been like here. And like she like flashes over this wall or some shit and kills you. You lose. But walking towards 3 of the members into this bush is really greedy. Okay, you don't have some use. Yeah, so you just get punished for it. For walking super greedy here. Like if you get this blue buff, cool, but like if you don't get this blue buff and Lee Sin does exactly what he did, then you lose. So just sacrifice this blue, walk this way. Blue buff is not worth the game. Do they end up that? We'd be getting in him, right? Yeah. Yeah, blue doesn't get AP anymore. You're right, the risk reward is not worth it, Sniper. Okay. So you see it's warded. you're walking into unwarded territory for no reason. You have this warded. What if somebody's here? What if somebody's here? What if somebody is here waiting for you on the other side of that wall? What if somebody's here? What if somebody's here? What if somebody's here? You get the point? Ahri, Diana, or any combo of the other three in Fog of War will immediately kill you. And if you die again, you lose the game. Or you should lose the game. Because they'll get Baron. They'll just have more map pressure. Wards, which then set up for Baron. But they should only get honestly get Baron if you're done. And this is not worth. Let's see what happens. Okay, you see Diana, and you walk towards her. For some reason, to path here, which is really greedy when Diana's here. Because Diana, 1, has a long-range skill shot, /R. And she can do exactly what she did, which is flesh on you. And you get punished. She got lucky the animation was that way. Super greedy, your A carry dies. You do have to by her. Good zone alpha. Good Oriole. Bad positioning by you. I'll go back and explain why that's bad positioning. So, 1, you miss your combo on Diana, who's in Zonia's. You miss your QW. If you kill Diana here, it's very good for the fight. But you don't, so you miss. Fine. Okay, then 3 of you get hit by Diana and chunked by her, and you're now zoned because that Diana lived. Okay, now what? Now 4 of you are stacked up for a decent hit. You get a good ult, but you're in a bad spot. Because you have to walk on this corner. And this again forces that awkward place where you're 100% guaranteed to get hit by a skill shot. As long as the person throws the skill shot properly. Because if they throw it like this, such that it's like this, you actually can't dodge this without going here. And if you go here, then you're in this huge danger zone and they kill you again. So it's a zoning skill shot, right? They either hit you or you die. Either way, you die. And you should know that Ahri has ult. Lee Sin probably doesn't have anything based on his energy. And Diana's about to die. But you could still get it by Diana. So you get the ult, but you could have gotten that same exact ult without committing here. And being forced here, or by getting hit by the Lee R, or by the Ahri charm. I actually don't even remember getting hit by this. But without getting hit by Ahri. In that choke point. Oh, you guys actually win this game. It's crazy. Okay, so you're doing Raptors while your team is doing Baron. Not sure why. You actually can see Baron pressure because of that. You get chunked. So, this is honestly all a result of you not being with your team. So you're here doing Raptors while your team's like around Baron. Because you're not there, the enemy team can walk up as 5 here, which then forces your team out here. If you're with them here, then you can play this game instead in the pink, where you're here, they're here. They have mid priority like this, especially with your inhib down. But at least it's a 5v5 instead of them just being blatantly forced out. So you can play this dance, like I said, instead, and then have to base and concede pressure. But the dance that you played instead was like 100 gold of Raptors for losing all Baron pressure, which is not worth. And then 2 of your teammates died because of that. Because you're in this awkward ass corner where the enemy can just run down and catch you guys like they did. So, as you saw, some run here, some run here. And then now this is choked. But you guys still have to kind of answer this area, so you have to stick around. And then you get caught in this choke. So your options are here or here. But either way, you're caught on this wall, this wall, this wall. In this choke, like I said. And you assault, which is unfortunate. But good try. I would have done the same. That's perfectly fine because they should reset after Baron. And it's a 40-second cooldown. Right. Your positioning is so bad here. It's actually disgusting. That's not flame either. So, we see what happens here. This is fine. Like, Draven's actually in the worst spot possible. Draven gets hits by a Q. Uses stand aside to stop it. Okay, but you let Draven somehow get behind you. When he's like all over here, he gets by a Q and you're like here. You have to walk immediately this way as soon as Draven gets by this Q. Because if Lee Sin is good, he like W's here, and he flashes here, and then he kicks you into the team, into Draven like this, and then you just lose. Because now both your carries are dead. This is if Lee Sin is good. But either way, if Lee Sin follows Draven, like he does, he could like W here, kick your entire team again. But even if he doesn't kick your entire team, he can kick you. So if he just does this and kicks you this way, again, you lose. So it's like you cannot let Draven get behind you there. Like ever. Yeah, even if he doesn't W flash, you could just follow Draven and then kick the Ori back for free. Exactly, that's what I just done there. So knowing what the enemy champions do and respecting it is really important. Okay, wait. So we know they retreated here, and then this is all Fog of War, and you're sitting at 50% health-ish, and then you go for these little cummies. What are they called? Honey fruit. Why? If Ahri charms over this wall, you're dead. If Varus ults over this wall, but he just ulted. If he Qs over this wall, you die. Like, you getting these doesn't matter. Just go here and base. Like, this wave is crashing towards you. There's a giant-ass wave here. You guys didn't really win the fight, so it's like... You're not really respecting the Fog of War at all. Or just, like... skill shots, I guess? Or your positioning is bad, I guess, in terms of understanding what the enemy can do. So there's this thing called like theory of mind, right? Which is like how you think about what other people think. So you need to be thinking about Ahri and what she's thinking. Because if I'm Ahri, I'm gonna be sitting right here waiting for you to come here. Right? I'm full health. You're not. So I have the advantage, and I have ult. Like, I can outplay this. That's what I'm thinking if I'm Ahri. So why would you give her that opportunity to outplay this? Or, if you know anything about game theory, if you look at a Nash equilibrium, right? You have to start thinking about these things, because what is Ahri's most ideal play, assuming you're doing your most ideal play? Your most ideal play is to go over here and base. So Ahri's most ideal play is to come over here and do this and try to stop your race. But Ahri sees you going for an unideal play of here, so she doesn't have to take this unideal play, which would be her ideal play. Instead, she just takes this ideal play, which is really easy to do. And your Sona has ult, but you can't count on Sona hitting Ahri. And Ahri can just dash out, so she can kill you and get out. And trading 1-for-1 isn't really worth it when you win the fight anyway, because you have an advantage. So instead, you should look to minimize their map pressure and gain map pressure. So what you should do is you look to get mid turret or answer this giant wave that's about to crash bottom. Like, look at this. Look how many creeps this is. This is roughly... That's 60 gold. Well, probably that's 70 gold. That's 70 gold. This is 80 gold. That's 150. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is an extra 260 gold. So this right here is 400 plus gold that you could have just gotten. But instead, you died to Ahri and Fog of War. 400 gold right now. For reference, I know there's a way to check items. X. 400 gold would put you at 1700 gold, which is enough to upgrade your Leandries, or to get you a blasting wand and a potion. That's a really big spike, but you die here. It was unfortunate. Wait, you don't die? Okay, you should be dead. You should 100% be dead for that greedy play. Either way, you're effectively dead. Because now you're off the map from pressure. Worst bot we have. Okay, that was a really good ult though. So let's rewind that. So this ball, ideally, should be here instead. But it's fine where it is. Because this ball is not invisible. This is not invisible. It has to be in a wall like this. Not because this wall is thicker, but this is not terrain. This is turret. So Orianna's ball, if 50% of it is in terrain, then ball's invisible. This is not terrain. Like I said, this is turret. So this isn't in. But if like here, or here, or here, or in any of like literally any other wall, it's invisible, but not here. So I'm just assuming, because that based on that ball positioning, that's probably what you're thinking. So instead, just try to get your ball here next time. Because your ball's here, then you effectively zone all of this. And what it does is it forces Varus like all the way around here, or this way. Which again is just extra distance that he has to travel to hit the turret. Okay, so your ball was here. But you decided to walk this way, which is fine. But your jungler's on a flank. This is a weird flank because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 3. And your Sona is answering top wave. But if you're like 3 steps forward, which is out of Lee Sin range, then you have enough time to E here and then get a faster ult. So just keep that in mind next time. The key members. You do it all. Sona misses all, that sucks. But things go well overall. Okay. That's fine, but it's not fine. So if we rewatch the ending of this fight, you guys are winning. You guys are winning. You guys are winning. Okay. What does flashing forward? This is like a wild turtle play, right? So you're here. Your Sona is chunked. They're 40% health and 10% health. If you flash here and burn QW, you have no damage. So Varus will kill you. So this is the wrong play. If you flash, you need to go and burst down Varus, because then you have a chance to kill Ahri. If you flash to kill Ahri, you have a 0% chance of killing Varus, because you have no cooldowns. And then you try to fight him after. So don't go for Ahri. I know she's more appealing, but do not go for Ahri, because Varus is a higher priority. You can try to outplay Ahri. You can't outplay Varus' auto attacks. Okay. So you go for Ahri, you get her. Cool. Now you have no cooldown, or you do not have QW. You only have E. So what do? You pick up your ball, which is smart, but then you E yourself. You have to Q first before Eing, and then E. That's the only way you can even have a chance of winning this because you have E damage. But instead, you should probably, instead of trying to fight Varus, probably just try to walk this way. Because if Varus starts chasing you, then your team will catch up and you'll eventually kill him because you'll be able to just keep walking. Then you just W and he can't get to you. Or you QW him when it's up and you should kill him. So don't try to just face into Varus because he will kill you. Like he did. Also, you have done no side wave manipulation at all. So, you can freeze, you can slow push, and you can fast push. Freezing is more for lane, or that this is for lane, so this is out. So you have a slow push or a fast push. If you slow push, you'll create an extra champion on the map. If you fast push, you'll create an immediate champion on the map. Or immediate, like, half champion on the map. You need to start going to side waves, so mid and top, and creating these giant waves. So if you look, they've had giant waves crashing your turret multiple times now. And is that because of them wave manipulating? Maybe. Is it just the way that things have worked out? Maybe. But these are the types of things you need to start doing to win more, is to manipulate the waves. So you need to get this wave pushing out. How do you do that? You have to wait for their next canyon wave, and then start killing it, because then you'll have more creeps in the lane. If you look, you have a giant top wave, right? This is the kind of stuff you should be looking to create, because this creates pressure on the map. When is Dragon up? I can't see. But let's say if Dragon's coming up, right? Somebody has to come answer this, or it's just going to become a massive wave that gets in him. Eventually, somebody will have to answer this wave. And then you have a chance to force a 5v5, get vision, look for picks, get an objective, whatever. Where are you? So again, you're doing a jungle camp while they're pushing an objective. You got Krugs, they got your AD carry. Or one of them. How do you guys win this game? Okay. So, you have everything up, and an 80 carry walks into you with no summoners, and you don't kill him. Varus is in this choke. You have two options. You can either go for Varus, or you can protect your team. Which one gives you a higher chance of winning? Soraka does no damage, Lee does no damage, Ahri does damage, Varus does damage. You can take out their damage threat by throwing your Q here. Q, R, W, E. He's under turret alone, he dies. 100% of the time. You can kill her to carry here. But you literally let him walk past you. Like, okay. He's on this choke, which forces his hitbox like this. If you put your ball here, then he's in the hitbox of your ult. So you have to ult this, right? Because then your ult is like this. He cannot get out of this. He has no flash and no heal. And you should know that from the last fight. Or 2 fights ago. But you don't do anything. You like miss your ball. But you just like hold for too long. And then you get away scot-free. What was that? What's that flash? Okay, so your effective impact on that fight was actually 0. You shielded like 1 ally or 2 allies. You missed both Qs. You did not R. You did not W, or you didn't hit it really. So you actually had almost no impact on that fight. So making sure that even if you're not making those proactive plays, which right there you had an opportunity to, you need to have some impact on fight, because you can't like miss everything or not exist. That was pretty good ult. It did its job of stopping, so overall was good there. But you could have done it earlier, so it's like, yeah. Wait. Oh, it's on the wrong button. Okay, so you can't check here before this ward is down. Because if Ahri is right here, you die. Ahri's mid. But if Ahri is here, if Lee Sin's here, you have such a high chance of dying that you cannot stand there next to that wall. Like, you're like playing with fire. Especially because you just saw like some dots here with Rek'Sai. So, don't play with fire. Respect Fog of War. You need to have your ball not here. Not on you, because they know you're with the team. So put the ball here. Put the ball here. Yeah, this one's so good, because then it gives you a vision of actually like all this. It's a pretty big radius. Get the ball there. Okay, you do. Cool. You guys lose mid priority if you sit here. You need so you need your ball on Rek'Sai now. Like, the ball sitting on you is useless. Because your effective range is this. Rek'Sai's effective range is this. That's a big difference. So get the ball on Rek'Sai. And you'll have your E back up anyway, so like just get it there. And if you're worried about a Varus Q, dodge better. Okay. So because you guys jerked off over here, you just let them walk in, right? If you put your ball right here, like I explained earlier, that's kind of big. You put your ball right here, like I explained earlier, you effectively zone this entire thing and force them not to be able to get this because your ball stops the push 100%, especially with Caitlyn traps, right? So whatever you don't cover, if you put your ball here, Caitlyn can put a trap here and put a trap here. They can't do anything. They actually cannot advance this at all. 0% chance. They have to go here. They have to go here because you're guaranteed a good ult. And if they walk one by one, then you just burst whoever walks. Like, you not having your ball here just lets them walk here. And with that being said, if your ball's here, you need to stand like all the way the fuck back here. Like literally max range. That's actually slightly out of range. But you need to stand like way back. Okay, so Caitlyn gets bursted. So now you are the damage with Draven. So you have to be looking here, and then here. Draven's your carry, so you need to be looking to protect Draven. So your ball needs to be here, let me change color. Your ball needs to be here, your ball needs to be here. Because this will zone them from advancing on Draven. If you put it here, it forces them on a Draven, but you're protecting these two. So you have to see how the fight's going and assess that mid-fight, obviously, to see what's best. For me, it would be right here. And why you're so far back is kind of a little boggling. You should be closer. So pretty much, you need to start learning Ori's range. So if this is her effective range, and this is her Q range, this is Ori. You need to, instead of being all the way here, with this being effective range, you need to be like here, right? And these like 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, they're not that big, but they're really important because if you're 1, 2, 3, you have such a large impact on the fight because then you can put your ball right here, which isn't this, but it's closer. So start learning how to effectively manage zones as Orianna. It's really important. Oh, okay, so you just get it. So they clump up into Orianna. And you win off that? I'm assuming. Oh, you guys are Baron. Okay, you guys probably should just ran. Never mind. Baron's fine. Okay. So now it's 45. You guys should just force. You have numbers advantage. Okay, wait. You answering this wave does not matter. You have Baron, and it's a 45. It is a 4v5. I know this is like extra, but like this mini wave does not matter. Go here with your team, end the game. This 300 gold or 400 gold does not matter when the game is over. Like 400 gold is greater than equal to game. This is false. False. Like so many times it's like, oh, we can do Baron or we can end the game. And team's like, oh, let's go Baron. I'm just like, why? You can literally end the game. Like this just happened to me today where it's like, hey, we can take mid turret or we can end the game. Oh no, let's take mid turret. It's like that doesn't make sense. Just end the game. It's 45. I see, like literally you can just flash into him because it's 45 and it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. It's a team. It's so as a champ like Ori, you gotta be with a team when they're near an objective. The wave is nice, but what happens if they get wiped? The game is over. Like that's just a nice way to say it. But like, literally that wave has zero impact on the game when it's 45 and you're ahead. You have Baron. They should be answering you, not you answering them. And it's a 45, so like you're still answering them. You're using Baron time to farm Krugs and base. Your items don't matter. You have Elder Drake and you have Baron. You should be basing after it's over. So, your ball needs to stay right there, right at this second. You should honestly be looking for an ult on this. Like, you could, or you should be here, not here, and QW this. You will literally chunk 60% of her health if you're not playing so far back. Playing far back is good. Don't mistake that. But you're playing so far back, like literally you are cusp of range right now. If you walk like 1 pixel further, it's gone. That's fine, but like look at the range. If you're here, like they can't do anything still. You just ward this, right? But you know they're all right here, like in this area. So you're standing like extra far away. Which is fine, like being safe, like I said, but like you're being too safe. So earlier you weren't respecting enough, now you're respecting way too much. Because you're ahead, you have Elder, like you want to force things. Your ball, at this point, needs to be here again. This chokes the entire zone, you get the server free off of it. And Caitlyn needs to put a trap here. If Caitlyn puts a trap here and you put your ball here, they lose the turret. They can't do anything. So ult earlier, because Varus skirted your ball like 6 times, and it's not even skirting it. He's on the range. So if I'll just do this. This is range. I'm just extending it to actual range. This is Ori's ball range. Her all range. All of this will clip. Okay. So let's see how many times Varus walks into this. 1, 2, 3. He walks in 3 times before you ult. You ult, or 2 times. You ult on the 3rd one and you miss him. So playing on the zone, watching the AD carry, like, okay, you know, it's great if you hit this guy. It's great if you hit this guy. It's great if you hit Soraka. But if you hit their Varus, you win the game. 100% chance. If you blow his flash, you win the game. Because you just wait 60 seconds, do it again. You win. You need to kill her as soon as she's out. Okay, so that's the end. Okay. So, biggest things. Let me get away from here.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay. So the biggest things that I noticed were honestly just typical of lower elo players. I don't think there was anything you did where it was like, wow, I wouldn't expect this from somebody that's like a lower elo player. I don't mean that in like a bad way, like, oh my, like you didn't make any good plays. I mean like, these are mistakes that many lower elo players make. So don't like fret, like just work to fix them because now that I'm pointing them out. So you don't respect Fog of War at all. This is a big one. Understanding Fog of War, understanding jungler tracking, understanding who can do what from where, all this kind of stuff. This kind of comes into frame of mind and mindfulness. These both kind of fall under this respect category. So respect, big one. Understanding what you can do. I know you're Nori main, but like, you're not abusing Orianna. Which comes down to the point of, why do you play Orianna if you can't abuse Orianna? And I'm not saying that like you specifically, but a lot of people come to me and they're like, hey, should I play Orianna? And it's like, well, how many games are you going to play? If you're going to play 200 plus games, yeah, go ahead. Play Orianna. But if you're going to play 3 games, you're not going to do well in the champion. And that's something really interesting to think about. Not to say that you shouldn't be playing Orianna, but it's like, you need to start understanding why Orianna's strong and when she's strong and knowing how to abuse them. So what else? You don't zone control with Orianna enough. You kind of like reactionarily use your stuff. You're not like actively creating zones, like zoning out this, all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, you do it, but you don't do it enough at the right times. Making sure that you're having meaningful impact on a fight. So there are a lot of fights where you just like missed stuff or just like didn't do it the best that you could. So try to start having more meaningful impact. You know, that might be hitting one more Q. That might be making sure you hit your W on 3 people. That might be ulting their AD carry. It might be shielding your front line. Like, you can do this in so many different ways. So just having more meaningful impact on fights is really important. Your positioning. So positioning intelligently. Positioning so that you can, I'm going to draw an arrow here because it's really important. Do damage while staying alive. 0 damage when dead. So what does this mean? If you're dead, you do 0 damage. If you're too far away, you do 0 damage. If you're too far away, you're effectively dead because you're doing nothing. And that's something that you did multiple times where it's like you didn't have as much impact as you could have because you were too afraid when they didn't really give you like a big reason to be afraid. Like, yeah, they had divers, but like they weren't diving you excessively, so it's not like you absolutely needed to play like literally on the cusp of your range every single time. Or even honestly further than that sometimes. What else? Knowing Orianna's damage is important. So I guess this kind of falls into like trading type thing, because Orianna wins extended trades. Orianna wins counter trades if you dodge at least one ability. So, knowing like what fights you excel at is really important. You're not with the team enough. At the right times. It's fine to not be with the team for a lot of the game, honestly. But you're answering sidewaves like when it doesn't matter. Like honestly, if you based and answered this wave, like it wouldn't shock me based on the way that you answered waves this game. When you could just end, right? But like you could literally go top and answer, and it would not shock me. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like because you answered waves that you shouldn't have, or you should have answered earlier, or weren't your job to answer, or you just didn't do it at a good time. You can do it later, you can do it sooner, etc. You're also way too farm reliant, so like you didn't leave mid lane, like ever, and you didn't you weren't with team because you were doing jungle camps at like 30 minutes plus. That's like not okay. You have to be with team 30 minutes plus, or you have to be in a wave doing something meaningful. Clearing the jungle camp is not meaningful. So these are like some big things. And then I guess one more is that like, if I was on the wave, same thing. You answered wave at Jargon instead of being with team. So if you can do anything, look to improve these things. These are some of the most handy. I know I just clipped this a little bit, but whatever. Learn these things, understand them well. Start learning the game and stop worrying about matchups. Like, so somebody earlier was like, hey, I'm afraid of like Ahri versus Orianna. It's like, yeah, that's a little bit of a difficult matchup, but like, you being afraid of the matchup won't make you win. You understanding the matchup and knowing how to play it and not dying while being meaningful will result in you winning. It's a lot about learning. So yeah, I'd recommend screenshotting this screen when I post this for you. That's the end of that VOD review. Overall, like I said, there weren't mistakes where it was like, wow, you just made like a bronze level mistake. It was like, no, these are mistakes that are like characteristic of the elo, which for anybody that again is wondering, is roughly gold 2. So like, this is honestly what I expected, something like this. There were a lot of good things though. Like, I know I bashed on you a lot, and I don't mean to sound like, oh, negative, toxic, whatever. Like, I'm just saying things in a way that is meaningful so that the points get across. But you did a lot of good too. So what were some of the good things you did? You had some good ults. You really did. You had actually a lot of good ults. You had like relatively low deaths. So if we look at the scoreboard, you died 4 times, right? That's an okay amount, honestly. But if you look like, oh, they're at least in 10 times, Diana 9 times, your AD carry 7 times. Like, so many times Kaylin just got caught and just like, how did you get caught there? Like, literally there's absolutely no way you get caught there unless you walk into them like blind. And you didn't do that. You got caught in other ways, but like, your positioning was okay. Like, it wasn't the worst thing. It was pretty good. I'd rather have somebody be too safe than too aggressive for the most part on Orianna and solo queue, I guess. Because like, you have enough damage on your team anyway. Like, you have Caitlyn, Draven, and Sona, who I assume at least both a little bit of damage. So it's not like, you were the only threat where it's like, oh, I have like Tom Kenchi to carry or something, So your positioning is like, okay, could get better. Definitely could get better. But what else? Your laning phase was good. You were up CS. So you were up in CS and lane. Even though you didn't take perfect advantage of the champion, you CS'd well enough that you were up. You pressured well enough, even though you lost the early lane. You didn't get too impacted by the jungler. Your wards were okay. Check out my warding guide for wards. Yeah. This is like a really small list, right? But I was focusing a lot on the things you were doing wrong, not the things you were doing right. So don't take these as the only things that you did right, because you definitely did more right. Obviously, you did something right, because you had 8 kills, 12 assists, and only 4 deaths. So you did good. But yeah, work towards that list that I sent earlier, and I will end the VOD here.